What? I don't know if you guys can see that over there. Eva. So I read 4 books recently, um, and I wanted to go over them with you for a book review. You know them, you love them. Let's get into it. So I read 4 books. Let me show you. They're all right here. I think you got the front. So the first one is Animal Farm by George Orwell. One of my favorite books of 2018. Fun fact. One of my favorite books of 2018. It really talks about leadership, corruption, uh, control of the working class, lies, deception, dreams, hopes, and all that. And it opens up on a farm, and oh my goodness, it just goes hardcore. It basically tells a story of Russia with Lenin and what's his name, Stalin, all that. Like each of the animals represents each of those main people, and it goes over like communist power, which I found pretty cool. Um, I'm looking over my notes right now. It was published in England of 1995, and it was mainly more satire than usual in a normal book. But all these books pretty much have satire except for one. Uh, but if you haven't read this book, I highly recommend you read it. It's a short read. Like, look at that. I believe it has 115 pages. So it's a very short read. I highly recommend it. That's book 1. Book 2 is the Metamorphosis. Again, a very another short read. I mean, it's just I got the long. Like, look at that. That's pretty much it. But if you buy this version, you're looking at 44 pages. It's a very short book. It mainly talks about isolation. The main story is that this guy, I forgot his name. Let's see if I can. Gregor, that's it. Gregor, he gets up to go to work, but his body has turned into a giant cockroach. And the day before, he locked his bedroom door so his family couldn't come in. So it mainly talks about isolation, how you're trying to get out, but you just can't. And the people who are outside your life, you know, the door, are trying to get in, but you won't let them in because you're stubborn. And that's mainly where I got it as. But I don't know about Franz Kafka. Good book. Um, it's a really good read. Again, short. I read this in I think like an hour or two, maybe. I listened to the audiobook. Pretty much I listened to the audiobooks for all these books except for one. But again, very short read. Very highly recommend it. Um, I would probably give it a read. It's a novella. It's very short. I mean, look at that. You could probably knock this out in like an hour or two, like me. Our next book is a book I read back in sophomore year of high school, and I really want to talk about it because I actually hate this book. But again, I love it. It's called Ethan Frome. I actually got the cool cover one. But like, look, you could like see my annotations. I had to annotate this one. Let's see how many pages. 97. 97 pages. This is a short book version, by the way. I'll probably do a long one soon. I got some new books I want to read. But this one's called Ethan Frome. It's about a guy named Ethan Frome. And he's married to his wife. I believe it's Xena. And his cousin. It's been a while since I've read this one, but I get the main idea of it. His cousin comes to visit, and he falls in love with her. The main themes of this book is silence, isolation, illusion, and the act of going against life rules of society, because this one has a lot of incest in it. There wasn't any scenes of intercourse in the book, but it talks about incest in it. It's very weird why we read this in sophomore year, but it's a short read, 97 pages for this copy. I don't really recommend this book. There is a movie. I do recommend watching the movie. It's with Liam Neeson in it, but I would not spend money on getting this book. But if you want to read it, it's called FROME. Check it out, or not. I don't care. And our last book. Now, this one. Let me see. There's only one copy you can get. You can only get this on Amazon, I think. It has 101 pages. It's called The Prophecy of the Two by Chappell. Now, if you don't know that name, that is my dad. He's published. This is before I came into the picture. It talks about two characters, Garrett and Jackson, which are actually my brothers. Fun fact. But he goes on. See, it calls it Book 1. He's working on the sequel right now. This is a really good book. It talks about Christianity a lot. It talks about going into seeing a different world and seeing culture. It's a very... He hates this when I say it. That was my phone. He hates it when I say this, but it's very reminiscent of Narnia. But it has some changes to it. Like, the armor they wear. It's a fantasy kind of book, and that's where he went with it. You can buy this on Amazon. It's really good. I highly recommend you get this and check it out. It really supports my dad and what he wants to do. But here, I'll tell you the summary. Two young brothers find a cave in ancientality. Okay. Go to a fantasy land where they learn they must receive the Holy Bible from the evil one. They make new friends along the quest and must avoid the evil one who sends enemies to try and stop them. Their faith in God increases as the quest progresses. If they don't receive the book, the land will go into eternal darkness and the evil one will rule. Full of humor, suspense, and action. Will they succeed? Go check out this book. It's really good. All the books are going to be linked in the description. But yeah, that is episode 1 of book review. I did not steal this from PewDiePie. You hear me? I did not steal this from PewDiePie. But go check out these books. Go support all of them. I want to read... The books I really want to read next is Treasure Island, The Masters and Margarita, and... what's the other one? The Island of Dr. Moreau. I really want to read those next. You should read those too, so we could talk about them in the next video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new here, subscribe and like. We do all kinds of different videos whenever I can. Go check out the other videos. They'll be at the end of the outro. But thank you guys for watching. Peace.